Tips for parents on how to keep Zoom secure for your kids. So if you grew up in the 90s, like I did until about 2 weeks ago, probably the only thing you knew about Zoom was that Rump Shaker song, all I want to do is do a Zoom, Zoom, Zoom in a room, whatever, shake your rump. Just me? Okay. Now, thousands of kids across the country are on this application every day. My 3 kids are on it every day for school. And the question is it safe? So just like any other online application out there, there are some precautions that parents need to take to make sure their kids' Zoom time is secure and safe from predators. So today I'm going to show you what you need to do to keep your kids' meeting rooms safe and your meetings as well, for that matter. So if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Christy Nash, and I am an attorney turned entrepreneur. After practicing law for about 15 years, I decided I needed something different. My family needed something different. So now I run 2 businesses online, and I get to help other women build mobile businesses on the side, all through social media as well. And I've been using the Zoom application for several years because it's a valuable asset to your businesses, especially when you run an online business and when you have business partners all around the country or all around the world. So Zoom is a useful tool in today's distance learning for sure, but it is not immune from hackers or from predators. So here are the things you need to do on your account or your child's account to keep it secure. Number 1, you need to show them how to close out the Zoom window and the Zoom application when the meeting is over. They need to make sure not just the meeting ended, but that all the windows are completely closed, not just minimized. You want to make sure that you don't leave the cameras open for a hacker to take advantage of. And you want to make sure that they confirm they know 100% where their Zoom invitation is coming from, either the person or the source that it has come from. My kid's school is sending secure links through a secure Google Doc, but you can get a Zoom link through a quick copy and paste on email, on text. They can come into chat rooms on the games they're playing. The Zoom links are easy to copy and paste. So they need to make sure before they click on the link, before they open the Zoom, that they are 100% confident in where that link came from. And if there's any question on who it came from, you need to advise them that you should open it first. They don't need to open it if they're not sure. So here are some tips for older kids as well. If you have older kids that are hosting their own Zoom meetings, my kids have started having lunch meetings with friends and just even sometimes to chat while playing games and hanging out. And I love that it keeps them connected to each other, but it also opens them up to predators. So here are some tips to try to prevent this from happening. When you're hosting a Zoom meeting, you want to show your kids how to enable the waiting room setting. So now I'm going to show you how to enable the security features when they schedule a meeting. So this is what the Zoom app looks like. They're going to go into schedule. These options are going to pop up. So you can title the meeting whatever you want, lunch with friends, whatever, date, time, all that is pretty self-explanatory. But the security features are what we want to talk about. And you want to create an automatic generated meeting ID for every meeting. And that way it's a different meeting number for every meeting. The reason you do this is because this personal meeting number right here, that is kind of, if you think of it kind of like a phone number, it stays the same. And if you have personal meetings and you give this ID out to 5 friends this week, 5 friends next week, maybe they've shared it with some friends, maybe their brother sees their phone and shares it with some friends, whatever. Or if you put it on a public forum like social media, That number's out there and it stays the same, and anyone can capture it and try to crash into a meeting with this personal ID number. So if you generate it automatically, it will change for every meeting, which is an added security feature. Another added feature is to require a password, and you just do that by clicking on this box. The password will be generated by Zoom, and you give that to all of the people you're inviting to your meeting. I always recommend you turn the video off to begin with. And then when you actually open the meeting, it gives you and your participants the option to turn that video on as they please. Also, always choose both telephone and computer audio. That's just because there are some people who will join over a phone or a tablet, and then some people that will join on computer, and you want to give them that option. Calendaring options are probably not a big deal for friends, for kids, but it's a great feature for businesses. You can invite people through their calendars and it'll get onto their calendar. But this is where we really want to look for security features, these advanced options right here. And you see this box that says enable waiting room. You're going to check that box to enable the waiting room and show your kids how to do that, because that allows them to control access to the meeting before it opens up to everyone. The waiting room will show them who all is in the meeting, who all is trying to get in the meeting, and they can choose to admit them or to remove them, which I'll show you in a minute. So you want them to enable the waiting room. I also just hit mute participants on entry. It's just a preference for me. It keeps things quiet when the meeting first starts, especially if you have multiple participants, and gives you a little bit more control over what's being said in the meeting. This only authenticated users is an added security feature, but may not be one you want your kids to, or want to require your kids to use, because it does require you have a Zoom account, and not all kids have a Zoom account. So you don't have to have a Zoom account to join a meeting or participate in a meeting. You do have to have one to host a meeting. So I usually do not check that box. And then you're just going to click schedule. Now I'm going to show you how to actually, when you're in the meeting, admit people, remove people, or lock the meeting. Okay, so you get this menu to open up by clicking this Manage Participants over here. And you can see that I do have, this is me, the host, but I do have someone in the waiting room because I enabled the waiting room. And it gives me the option to admit or remove them. And then another feature that is a great security feature on Zoom is down here, these three little buttons on the bottom of the participants opens up this pop-up menu, and one of the options is lock meeting. And you can click on that, and then the meeting has been locked. This is one of my favorite security features because you can tell your kids, look, you planned a lunch date with your friends, great. You invited how many friends? You invited 5. Okay, when all 5 of them hop on, then you need to go and make sure you lock the meeting, because locking the meeting will prevent other people from joining, including strangers. So that is one of the fun security features. And you can unlock it. There's also another option that says play enter exit chime. And that is actually a little chime that will come when someone actually enters your meeting. So sometimes people enter the meeting and their video is turned off, especially if you have multiple participants. You may not notice that someone has popped into the meeting, but if you click that play chime upon enter or exit, then you will get an audio cue when someone has entered the meeting. So that's another security feature, so you know when people are coming in and out. Also, again, when on your participants list, you do have the option of removing people after you have admitted them into the meeting, but just make sure that your kids know and that you know once you do remove a person, that person is unable to join the meeting again. So a little pop-up will come up to make sure and confirm that you actually do want to, in fact, remove them, just because once you do take that step, they're not going to be able to join the meeting again. Those are some really easy security features for you and your kids. And remember, most importantly, you know, you just want to talk to your kids. Be open and communicate with them. Let them know that this is just like any other online technology tool, where there are privileges to having them and there are dangers as well. So they need to have the proper tools and the rules. You need to put rules in place to protect them from the dangers so they know how to use it responsibly. So that's it. You know, if you liked this information, hopefully you found it valuable. I would appreciate if you could just give me that thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you hit that bell notification by the subscriptions, it will give you notifications every time I come out with new videos. I do try to post new videos 1 to 2 times a week. And subscribing just helps me help you with future videos. So thanks so much for tuning in to Hustle with Heart.